enjoy what we do, if you get value from our content, if you dig this platform, please consider becoming a Talking Town 5th Standard today by hitting the join button on YouTube or heading to our Ko-Fi site for as little as $4.99 a month. A staggering £1.24 approximately a week. What can you get for that these days? Amazing value. So, if you dig us, if you enjoy our content, if you love what I do, please head to the join button on YouTube or the Ko-Fi site. Become a 5th Standard today. You can cancel it any time. It's free to cancel any point you wish. And if you can't, do not worry. But if you can, I'd be eternally grateful. And of course, you get access to the perk of joining the Talking Town Discord server. A 24/7, 365 ITFC chat. Get involved. We'll speak soon. Mwah. Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to another Matchday Ticket Live. I'm, of course, your host, The Gov. That was a beautiful person at the start of the show. Looks a bit like me and talks a good game. Talking of which, tonight it is Cambridge in the Pizza Cup, the Papa John's Trophy. Town all but got 1 foot in the next round. Can we put 2 feet firmly into the next round of a cup fixture? One step closer to Wembley, where the famous Ipswich Town. And we've never been to New Wembley. A 7 p.m. kickoff. Why is my first question. Did I not understand how much of a tight squeeze that is with, a young family? Dinner turnaround. I have to literally chuck pizza at somebody's face. Quick, eat that. But no, welcome in, one of all. Hit the subscribe button. Welcome live. We've got 3 guests with me this evening. Loving that live. The first of which has been on holiday. The second of which is an aficionado of a different sport. And the third has never seen us win in League One. So hopefully he isn't going to be a bad luck omen this evening. Because technically he's not watching us live, is he? So you never truly know. Right. First guest is the aficionado, Stephen Thompson. Stephen, how are you, sir?
I'm very well. How are you?
Good, Matt. I'm very well, thank you. Excited for this night's Pizza Cup. You've come wearing a lovely, beautiful, special shirt. I'd love to know from those in the chat what you see when you see that shirt. What player comes to your mind in the chat? Let me know in the live chat as we're watching. Steve, for me, it's Sixto Peralta. I don't know if he ever actually played in that shirt, but when I look at that shirt, I see Sixto with his gloves, a silky player.
Fantastic.
What player comes to mind when you pull it over your head?
Well, for me, he was at Portman Road fairly recently, which is partly why I'm wearing it. It's got to be Pablo. My all-time favourite Town player. So I thought, it's been sitting in my cupboard for a while. I haven't worn it for a while, so I thought I'd give it a bit of airing. So,
lovely. It's looking wonderful. Pablo there on Saturday, obviously a 1-0 defeat. We could have done with Pablo probably up the front on Saturday. He probably could have done a good job. The 2 benches, EJ. No lineups on iFollow, says Andy. Well, don't worry, Andy. I've got you covered. Here is your lineup before we get the other 2 members of our team. It is Aladki. I'm not going to try and butcher this poor gentleman's surname, Steve, unless you can give it a whirl.
I want to say Agbaje, but
Agbaje, that suits me. Dan around. Wolfenden, Keogh, Vincent Young, Evans, Humphreys, Edwards, Chihuahua, John Jules, and Jackson. An interesting lineup. Let's go ahead and bring in the man that's been in every single country except this one in the last 2 weeks, and yet me and Steve knew exactly where he was. 1 second of the time? Do you think, Steve?
Yeah, even if that.
Yeah. Planned a whole show with him, thinking he'd be there, and never showed. But it is, of course, Mr. Neil Moles, the air of positivity. How are you, sir?
Hello. Yeah, pretty good.
Good man. Nice to speak to you. Where are you dialing in from this evening? Hello, Moscow.
No, it's Heathrow again.
Heathrow. Perfect. We'll have Doupois for the Eurovision Song Contest. No, you've been, obviously, tell people at home, you've been on holiday. Where have you been, what feels like, for the last month?
Only 2 weeks. It was Scotland.
Scotland. Whereabouts in Scotland? Well, I would say whereabouts, but you've been sort of everywhere, right? You've been here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah, we stayed basically east of Edinburgh, and then we basically went to Inverness and Aberdeen, Glasgow, all sorts of different places.
There you go. There we go. And now you're here tonight from Heathrow watching the Pizza Cup. First of all, before we get into the team, I'll bring Mark in a second. Expectations for this evening? Obviously, you want to go through. Do you feel Sky being on the Friday night's not really helped us, Neil? Or do you feel this squad, the depth, we could play 2-3 games in a week. We should still have enough for a game like tonight.
We should have enough, shouldn't we? I'm nervous coming up against a team like Cambridge, but yeah, we should definitely have enough.
What makes you nervous about coming up against this, a team like Cambridge? What particularly makes you nervous?
You get these little bogey teams that you feel that you should beat, and you just end up not doing so.
That is true. That is true. Cambridge are turning into somewhat of a bogey team for us, Steve. Stephen Parry says, good team tonight. Virtually a done deal in the Pizza Cup game. It is virtually a done deal, but it's never a done deal until it's a done deal. So you want to see, obviously, all the right things from town. And this is a cup competition you look at and think, do you know what? We should have our name in that Wembley bracket, because there should not be somebody on our side of the draw that is stronger in depth and in quality than Ipswich Town Football Club.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, to be honest, I just want to see our team at Wembley. Yeah, like I say, it's not a done deal till it actually is a done deal. Just want to get to that stage. I know we're one of very few teams left in England now who haven't played in New Wembley. I just want to see that. That's all I want. It's not much. It's not that hard, surely. It's been there for a few years now. It
shouldn't be that hard, but it is turning into be that hard. And I said at the top of the show, a bit tongue-in-cheek, but it was also very true. We are with the famous Ipswich Town. We've never played at New Wembley. Obviously, one of the last competitive fixtures, if not the last competitive fixture at Old Wembley. But yet we've never actually been to New Wembley. Let's go ahead and bring in our third member. He was at Portman Road on Saturday. He's yet to see us win in League One action. Hopefully, he'll see us win tonight. Is, of course, our resident barber. He cuts his own hair. Mark Dowling.
Good afternoon. Good evening, gentlemen.
I'm very well, thank you, sir. Do you cut your own hair?
Of course I do.
I mean, it must be very easy, right?
It all depends. It all depends what mood I'm in.
I love it. If I'm feeling fruity, I'll cut my own hair. If I'm not, I'll go to a barber's. I want that power, man, to cut my own hair, because it costs me 30 quid every single time I have my hair cut, Mark. Can you believe that? What would you charge me for a back and sides grade 2? Is that all?
Why are you kidding you? No, I charge about 25, so it's all right.
Hang on, wait. With Ryanair's flights at a pound. Oh, I'll see you next week, Mark. No problem at all. You were there on Saturday. Pablo was there. You were there. We didn't score. Are you confident ahead of tonight's Papa John's Pizza Cup?
Why not? I don't know what team Cambridge are going to put out. If they put out the same team that we played against them in the league, it could be a bit of a tough game for the lads. But yeah, I think they'll have a chance. It's I think it's their little team amongst themselves, isn't it? I hate calling things the B team, but they're after doing so well so far, and why not? It is a bit of a tin pot cup. I used to say that, and I still do. But while we're in it, we might as well try to win it this year, because these lads deserve a chance. So why not give it a go?
Are you not concerned?
At Wembley, as everyone says.
A good day at Wembley, of course, but are you not concerned it could turn itself into a little distraction?
No, not really, because again, we used the B team rather than the first team. So I think I think I'll let the fellas who played in this competition continue in it, even right to the final. I think they deserve their chance. If they get to the final, that'll be the truth. It's a competition that Ipswich never wanted to be in ever, but now that we're in it, we might as well, give it a go this year and see where it takes us. We nice trip out to Wembley for a lot of younger people who've never seen us play in Wembley. I've never seen us in any type of cup run. So yeah, why not? Give it a go.
Gino says we were a big scout for Cambridge. They want to do us over big time. Paul P. hasn't Chouara been linked with West Ham? I think he's been linked with quite a lot of clubs. He's a very well-regarded, highly thought-after young player coming through. Stephen Parry. We never took it serious for me. This team is more serious for a game we don't need to win. Well, we do need to win it. Well, not win it, but we need at least a point, Stephen, I believe, from what I heard on Radio Suffolk before I got in this evening. Louis Fenton's that fact that Evans is playing, does that mean that Ball or Kamara will play with Morsey on Friday? So the team is obviously as on the screen. Neil, you're surprised at this? Any surprises in the team there, considering obviously we do play Friday, only 3 days away from tonight?
I'm not particularly surprised. It's a little mix of first teamers and some new faces. I think it'll be interesting to see how they perform, and I think it's a reasonable team.
A reasonable team, Steve. I thought we may take the fine. This may be a team of full-on youngsters, but you've got obviously Wolfenden and Keogh. Wolfenden, who played on Saturday, Keogh, who started the week before, Vincent Young, who came off the bench, Evans, Edwards, who many people would probably consider starting on Friday, John Jules and Jackson. That's a stronger team than I thought we would line ourselves up with. Does it surprise you? And if so, which one particularly surprised you? Because I don't think Evans being in there was on many, if any, people's.
No, I think out of the bunch of them, I think either Edwards or Evans, I think, was probably going to be my biggest surprise. Probably Edwards, because like I say, I'd expect him to start on Friday. Apart from that, you got a good mix in there. Like you say, you got a lot of good league starters in there. You got a nice mix of the young guys as well. I think is it Agbaje's debut tonight, his first ever time. I know Chirowa has played a couple of times in other bits and pieces, but I think you got a good mix there of sort of youth and experience. I'm quite intrigued to see how they'll get on. Humphrey's obviously quite highly rated as well, so it'd be good to see him back in the lineup. So
really,
it's a strong team.
A strong team. Edwards, Mark. I had him starting Friday. I've now got to question that somewhat. Are you surprised to see him having, played so well last couple of weeks? Anybody surprised you in that lineup? Are you with the other two guys where, not really surprised? Good lineup. Sprinkled in with some youngsters. It is what it is.
Yeah, I hear you. I think we'll probably play Edwards and Evans for the first half, and even probably who else is there? Wolfenden. And I think when it's in the bag, or when it seems to be in the bag, are comfortable enough, or maybe it's not comfortable enough, I think we will make substitutes early. I think we'll keep Edwards, because I think if Burns is having a nightmare against Derby, I reckon they'll throw him on as early as possible. There's no sign of the other guy who played. What's the name? The ball.
No sign of Ball. No Ball on the bench. The bench is Nick Hayes, Edmondson, Armin, Kamara, Burns, Chaplin, and Dapo. No Ball.
I don't expect
that's someone
he must be injured, because I don't believe he'll be playing against Derby. Sure, he hasn't had any ball. Excuse the pun. He hasn't had any much ball time. So probably I'm surprised Wolfenden is playing as well. I thought he's played well. Like, you would have thrown Edmondson in there, Keogh. He could teach him a few tricks. I think he's been a little bit of out of sorts this season, but however.
People are saying Ball's suspended. It's not the first time I've seen that, but I'm not quite sure how he's suspended, because I don't remember him getting enough bookings in this competition to be suspended. Doesn't mean he isn't. Doesn't mean I didn't blink and miss a yellow card. But a lot of people are saying it. But I must have blinked and missed those 2 yellow cards in amongst the flurry of goals, Neil, that he's been providing. So I thought it may have been an injury. I don't know. I've been looking out for confirmation. But it appears he's suspended. So good opportunity for the midfielders today, obviously, one of which is Humphreys. Hasn't really... I actually was wondering where he was on Saturday, in terms of I would have preferred to have seen him come on the pitch at some point, maybe than a Don Ball, just because he's more forward-thinking and we're a goal down. But a good chance for him tonight to really showcase again what he's been doing so far in the competition, isn't it?
Yeah, he's been playing well in this cup, and the more game time he gets, the better he'll improve, and hopefully he will get his proper league debut and force a way into the team. As for the Don Ball, I thought he would have been playing today, but with the news of him potentially being suspended, that'd explain that one, because the two have worked well in previous games.
There's been such a flurry of goals that I must have missed the bookings. And now I'm going to have to try and work back when he got those bookings as to why, in a game where we've never really been tested so far in the group stage, I don't think, Steve. So, No, I don't know if there's a need to get booking, but there we go. Tactical booking, maybe leaving himself fresh for Derby. Kamara, Steve. That was a joke, of course, but Kamara. Lots of intrigue about him. Lots and lots of excitement. We expect to see him at some point tonight. When do you think we'll see him, and what do you expect to get out of the midfield man?
I would say maybe give him sort of half an hour in the second half. Obviously, he's first time he's on the bench, first time he's part of the Matchday squad. So I'm really excited to see. Obviously, when we signed him, there are a lot of people saying great things about him and what he can do and his ability. So really intrigued to see what he can do. Quite excited to see it. I'd say half hour in the second half would be good. Sort of give us a bit of a taste, really. Maybe see how he settles in for Friday. Unless that's going to be a bit too soon. Obviously, he's had a long time on the sidelines. So, some point in the second half, I'd say sort of the last half an hour, I think it'll be a good little run out for him.
Second half for Evans, as Stephen says in the chat, probably the more likely, just because you've got no other midfield player on the bench other than Kamara. This Armin can maybe play in there. It's always a lovely thing watching these young players, Mark, because you're never quite sure what they can bring to the table, where they perhaps fit in, what they can't do, what they can do. It's just an exciting time as a fan just to sit and watch what could be the future stars of the football club.
That's exactly it. I mean, this competition it's for the young fellas to come through, to play men's football, should we call it, to see if they're up to it and how far they've progressed or how they've digressed. But so far so good. It's looking good. I mean, you played well against the Arsenal under 21s, who normally are a good, fit, strong side. I mean, you matched them up perfectly this year for a change. So I think why not give them all a go? And if towards the end of the season, if we're promoted early, he can start throwing them into the first team.
Callie says Northampton was a foul end of the first half, sloppy. Arsenal on 21's 8-ish minutes picked up yellow for time wasting. Thank you very much, Callie. I must have been downstairs at the time getting a drink or preparing for the show because, I mean, both games were done and dusted within 5 minutes. It felt like looking back. But okay, so we're live again at full time. The three of us, you can join us if you like. Hit the link in the chat. Live chat as always, but join us as we break down what we see through the next 90 minutes. We'll give our match ratings, players that have stood out, players that perhaps didn't stand out for whatever reason. We'll our assessment on Kamara, of course, if he should get on the pitch. So join us the moment the full time whistle goes. Before we depart this evening, score predictions, please, gentlemen. Mark, I'll start with yourself. Score prediction, please.
2-0.
2-0. Okay, I like that. That sees us progress nicely. At the moment, just to give you a flavour, the table reads Town atop with 6 points. Win would see us go through as group leaders. Arsenal in second, Cambridge in third, and Northampton are bottom. Obviously, Arsenal play Northampton and we play Cambridge. So we just really need a point and we are through. Neil, your score prediction, please.
3-1.
3-1. Okie dokie. Like that. Who's your goal scorers, Neil?
I think Jackson, John Jules, and I think Edwards will.
Okay. Steve, your score prediction. And by the way, on full time, I'm going to be asking you to regrade the more senior players very hard, very critically, because I want those players to stand out this thing. I want the players that need to be in contention for Friday to really show why they are first team players further along in the progression journey than a Chawara, than an Agbaji, than whoever, than perhaps a Kamara when he comes on, because these are the players that right now in the live action, in the league action, we're going to be needing to call on, Steve. So that's something just to get you three thinking as we're through the 90 minutes. Are they performing like they should be, could be, will be, etc.? Steve, your score then, my man?
3-0.
3-0. Okay, your goal scorers, please.
Jackson, Edwards, and I'm going to go Keogh.
Oh, I like it.
Why not?
Nice little Richard Keogh goal. Absolutely. Why not? We're back at full time. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Join us for more fan reaction the moment the full time whistle goes. Here's the aficionado. That is Mr. Positive. He's fresh off his holiday. And he is, of course, Mr. Mark Dowling. We will see you all at full time. See you then.
You make me smile when I think of you. If I get down low and now you're blue, I can't get enough. Oh, you make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how crazy from just the thought of you. A long